Hey guys, it's CSJ Studios, and today I'm doing a collection tour of my artist resins and customs. Now, I do have quite an OF collection, but if you guys want to see that, I do have a collection tour I posted earlier this year on my main account with my best friend, Mitten Model Horses. So we'll go ahead and I'll link that in the description if you want to see that. But today I'm just going to be focusing on my own artwork that I've done and the blank resins that I have. I did show them off in that collection tour, but I just kind of skimmed over them, so this is going to be a little bit more detailed. So first I'm going to start off with the bigger horses, and then we are going to go ahead and zoom in close and look at the micros because those are my favorites that I have. So up here I have a Levi resin, and this is Docker's. So he's the show version. He's got the banded mane. And I do have plans to paint him, but I don't know what I want to paint him as. And I need to build up my confidence a little bit more before I finally go ahead and do that. But that's him. And then we have the Fighty Buddy Boys that were sculpted by Raven Maddock for Briarfest last year, so 2021. And they're a medallion. Then I have this little guy. I do not know his name, but he is just a little Mustang. I don't have any plans for him yet, but I think he's super cute. Down here is one of my favorite shelves. So I have a Whirlwind who is sculpted by Maggie Bennett, and I just finished him earlier this year, and he won a rosette at the last show that I went to, so that was super exciting. And then Armorant, which is the tumbleweed version of, they're like a pair, but he has a roached mane and a knotted tail, and he's actually a gelding and not a stallion. And I believe tumbleweed is a stallion. And he's very pretty. I don't know what I want to paint him as yet though, so he's blank for now. Then I have Suerte, who I believe was sculpted by Sarah Mink. And he is just so sassy and cute. I'm also afraid to paint him. The bigger horses I get really scared to paint. Obviously, I've only painted one of my larger traditionals, but someday it will get done, I promise. And then I have, I think her name is Jenny, and I think that she was sculpted by a French artist. I'm sorry, I'm not very good with their names. But she has a little porcelain baby who is, I guess, a Kaiser. I don't know anything about porcelains, but I saw him at a show and I was like, oh my gosh, she needs a baby. So they're together. I do kind of want to repaint him someday, but I don't know what the unwritten rules are of repainting porcelains. I don't know how to do it, and I don't know if it's like bad vibes to repaint this guy, so I just don't know. Then I know that I said I was gonna go through the bigger models first, but this is a Buddy song and I cut his head off, and I want to resculpt it so that it's looking like that, but I've never resculpted a full neck before, so I don't know how I quite feel about that. Moving down, we have this standing quarter horse mare. I'm sorry, I don't know her name or her sculptor. It's somewhere on my phone, so I'll put it up on the screen. Then we have a Venti Hazel, and I do actually have plans to paint her, so hopefully that will be sometime this summer that she gets done. And then I have, oh man, I don't know their names either. I think it's like Inko and Tina. I think they're also Sarah Minks. They're super cute. One of them is almost done, and then the other one I haven't even touched yet. I don't know what I want to paint him as. I want him to be a little bit more fun, but I wanted this one to be like a classic mule. Moving over here, we have, I think his name is Snorky. Again, I'm sorry, I'll put their names up on the screen. But he is from Bluebird Studios on Instagram, and he's just super cute. Back there, we have Puffle, the Kylie Parks medallion. I believe it was a Briarfest offering for 2020, and I just fell in love, so I ended up finding a copy secondhand. Or wait, I think I bought him from her, like, release of Briarfest Extras. Then, by Raven Maddock, I have two little buckers. This bay one is going to be staying with me, and the buckskin I will be taking to Briarfest to sell. But they're very pretty. This guy has dappling. This guy is just a paint horse. And then I have Elfwin by Kylie Parks. I am not happy with her color. I do like her markings, but she will be stripped and repainted. You will see that in a later video. And then we have the first resin I ever bought. I don't remember what Briarfest it was. It might have been 2018, 2017 maybe. But this is a Kathleen Moody piece, and he was actually the first resin I ever painted, so he's a little bit sentimental to me. But I also do kind of want to sell him because I'm just not in love with the sculpture. And then back here we have Zato, which is a Raven Maddock medallion. I'm sorry, he's kind of dark back there, but I'm kind of afraid to move these guys. I'll show him later when I'm showing off my micros. Down here we have some stuff as well. This is Ethel, and she was the first model I ever painted, so of course she is super sentimental to me and kind of started my donkey addiction. I just think long ears are so cute. And then we have Earl and Hubert. They're both just custom Brighties. They used to show pretty well, but now other people have long ears that they show that are a lot better than these. So their showing careers kind of over now, but Hubert was the first time I ever tried out oil paints, and one of the only times I ever tried oil paints. I don't really like working in oils, so that's Hubert. And then we have this Geronimo that I did a couple of years ago. I'm not super happy with him, and he will be for sale at Briarfest. But he's just a quarter horse with some high whites. Moving over here, we have some crazy stuff going on. So I want to do the Grinch. I started this a couple of years ago, and I just never finished him. He's ready for fur and his clothes. I don't know when I'll go ahead and finish him, though. But then I also have my It horse, Pennywise. And then back there I have a horse that I entered for a Peter Stone competition that I didn't win. It was their, design their Christmas horse thing for the 12 Days of Christmas. They had some super cool entries, but mine was Mr. Freeze Miser and Mr. Heat Miser, and then I wanted you to be able to see, if you're looking at him from this, it would be all Freeze Miser, and if you were looking at him like that, it'd be all Heat Miser. I think I pulled him off pretty well, but he didn't get picked, which is okay. That shelf is a little tippy. Then this was my Briarfest Diorama Contest entry for 2020 when they did the Irish theme. He's a Clarichon, which is it's related to the leprechaun, but yeah. I don't know, he didn't win. And then I have these little donkeys down here. I have a mini Hubert and a mini Earl, and neither of them are done, but this girl in the middle is finished. She's just a super cute donkey that I found on Google. Used the markings as a reference. Let's see what else I have. Custom Briar-wise, I have this. This is a portrait of my old horse, Secret, who sadly, her tag fell, sadly has passed, but she's a sage with a custom neck. I took her mane off and resculpted her neck and tweaked her ear. And very, very detailed roan Appaloosa. I think she's super pretty. She's got a half blue eye, half brown eye, which my real horse had. That might be it for custom briars. I have a bunch of them that aren't finished. Oh, I guess this one's here too. Just a muddy medicine hat warhorse with paint markings on her. Alright, so I'm going to move some stuff around and then we are going to get into the micros. Alright, so first I wanted to show off this guy a little bit more because he is just so big and detailed and I feel like his position wasn't really showing him off as well. But he has these gorgeous dapples and I'm really proud of his feet. He's got a little spider web. But yeah, he's got some cool details and markings and I'm really, really happy with how he turned out. I originally was going to paint him to sell him, but I think he has to stay for a little while. I think he's just super, super cool. And I can spin him around. He's got a lovely face. His face is very thin, but he's gorgeous. Look at those chest wrinkles. And if you flip him over here, he's got more dapples, which I think he just looks really, really nice. I'm a huge fan of him. Alright, so I'm going to be showing off my models kind of like this. I think this will just flow a little bit better. First I'm going to go through my completed painted ones and then I'll go through and I'll show you my works in progress and unpainted ones that I have. So up here first we have Met Hen, who is in Aquatech, and I just painted him as a Cremello. Then we have Mazelia, and it looks like her base needs another layer painted, but she is this gorgeous leopard Appaloosa, I show as a Knudstrupper, or however you say that, sorry. I'm so proud of her. Also, I'm like super shaky right now. My apologies. Then we have, I don't remember his name, but he is the first micro I ever painted as this like black Rubicano Arabian. I think he's so cute. Then we have a Raven Maddock piece. This is the Micronaut, and he's just this liver chestnut. Then Motor and Torora. You guys all know and love this set, hopefully as much as I do. Maggie Bennett is coming out with a traditional and a venti scale for them, and I'm saving up to buy their traditionals because I'm in love with this mold so much. Next we have Annie, and if you guys don't know, she comes in two variations. So this is the long tail looking left variation, and then she mirrored her so that she's looking right and has a short mane and tail. They were sent out to the club members as Gambler's Choice, and you can buy them now off of her website with whatever variation you want. Then we have Artemis, who is the little pony set for subscriber members of 2020, I think. She's just this little dappled chestnut, so cute. Then we have Chaos Mode, who I painted as a portrait of my friend's horse, and yeah, she's just a black Tobiano, and I think that color suits her so well. Alright, so up next for this next batch we have the Microchip Peter Stone Remington. I believe this was also sculpted by Maggie Bennett. I'm a huge fan of her work. And he's just a bay paint. And then we have Donor, who I believe came in a set, Donor and Blitzen. I just have the one, I got him at Breyerfest one year, and he's just painted as a classic Belgian. Wow. Then we have Featherstep, who was the first model I received from Maggie Bennett's monthly club. I believe she was November 2020, and she is a kind of mulberry dapple gray, my first dapple gray that I ever painted. Then we have Ember, who is a Bay Rubicano Arabian, and I just think he is beautiful. Next up we have Timken, who I painted to look like Big Checks to Cash. And he's dappled, you can't really tell. I do have better photos of him up on my Instagram. Next up we have Featherstep, who is a saddlebred, and she is super, super pretty. Next here we have Martin, I believe is his name. Maggie Bennett posted a video of her sculpting him for Briarfest last year, and it was super fun to watch. He's got a crazy long mane, and he was inspired off of a painting. Next we have Set Aside Satin, who is just a lovely Dapple Bay quarter horse. I realized I didn't have many quarter horses, and I really wanted to add paint markings to her, but I had to hold myself back, and I was like, you know what, Hannah? You can do heavy dapples, but you gotta keep her solid, so that's what I did. Next we have Ethel, and if you guys remember from earlier, I have a donkey that I named Ethel, which was the first one that I ever made, or the first horse or equine that I ever painted. So when Maggie released this mule and named her Ethel, my heart just exploded. I was so happy by that coincidence. And then next we have a Kylie Parks toadstool? No, pollywog. And he's just a bay paint Tobiano looking thing. Alright, so this is going to be the last clip of my painted micros, and then we'll move on to works in progress. This is my cover girl. Hopefully you guys saw the video of me painting her mane and tail. I did get her finished for that show that I was going to, and I think she placed. Can't quite remember, but I think she just turned out lovely. Next we have Spatterdock, who I painted as a leopard appy. So many hours went into this horse, and her markings are, yeah. I have better photos of her up on my Instagram. She's wild. Next we have Ducat. I believe this one's Ducat and that one's Dosh. They came in a set, and this is a little Clydesdale foal, and I painted this guy as an Irish cob. Down here we have Maple Stirrup, and I painted him of a portrait of a horse called Lunatic Fringe. He's a super cool looking bucking horse that is just beautiful, and I had to paint him as a model, so there he is. Alright, so next up we have my models that are almost finished but not quite. We have a Snort by Kitty Cantrell, a Dringabell, who is, I don't really know what's happening. I think you can kind of see where I was going with it, but I'm struggling a little bit, so we'll see how that plays out. We have a Poppy Seed by Maggie Bennett, a Viking, a Turbulence, Sprat, I think this guy's name is Motor. I did sell his brother at a show that I went to, but I'm kind of liking this guy, so maybe he'll stay around. I don't know, because I have another Motor, so we'll see. Aliskra, and a Micro Anzi by Jen Scott, and she doesn't have her proper sealer on, so she looks a little gross, but I think once that sealer goes on, she'll look a lot better. The sealer I like is super matte, like this horse has. And then this is Castiana. She does have dapples, but you can't really see right here. My camera likes to focus on the dust, but she looks pretty cool too. Alright, for this next part, I'm just going to kneel down because I don't feel like moving all these models. But back there, I have a 6J, an Elma. Over there is Armorant. Then we have a Radian, and her and I do not get along. Apparently me and 6J don't get along either. This is Bean from the Peterstone microchip club that they have. I'm not part of the club, but I was able to buy her when she was just released individually. Then we have Cyclone, who I think is so pretty, and I wanted to do a dark dapple gray on him, but I just can't get him to work with me, and I think I want to do a black Rubicano, like my first micro Arabian I ever painted. Then this is Diana, and I wanted her to be this buckskin. I still want her to be a buckskin, but she does need to get stripped. Here's another Jen Scott piece. This is her micro Ilium. I don't know how I feel about his body color, so he'll probably get stripped too. Tempestade, you guys saw him in my last video. My micro Emma and Oscar, I think are their new names. You guys also saw in my last video. Here is what Buddy's song originally looks like to give a comparison. Alright, so this is what these two models look like next to each other as a comparison. And then down here we have Escape Foot Callie. Maggie just released a newsletter and said that she couldn't just name her Callie, she had to name her Escape Foot Callie because she actually plans to do another sculpture of her horse, which is super cool. So they'll have different names as she comes more into herself. Then I have two more pollywogs who I plan to sell at Briarfest. This guy jumped off my desk and broke his ear, so I either need to figure out how to fix his ear or just sell him like that at Briarfest for a cheaper price because I don't know if I want to mess with it. And then, last but not least, we have the new micro for this month. This is Cisco, and he's a fjord pony. And he is so cute! Oh my goodness, he has little wrinkles down by his elbow, and I just love his tail, it's so cool. So, I believe that's everything. If I missed stuff, I'm sorry, but I'm kind of running out of space on my phone and this video is a little bit long. So thank you all for watching. Make sure to subscribe. If you want to see my OF models, go check out my other channel at Mitten Model Horses. And if you want to see these horses closer up, go to my Instagram at CSJ Studios so you can see better photos of them. Alright everyone, thanks so much for watching. Bye!